Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch. Deviation, noun, deviationism, deviationist, a variation that differs from the standard or norm. Virulent, adjective, virulently. Infectious, having the ability to cause disease. Deadly, venomous. Full of malice, malignant, harsh or corrosive in tone. Deviation from the norm is not tolerated. There must be no deviation from the normal procedure. Having juice instead of coffee was a deviation from his usual routine. A 10 to 15% deviation is considered acceptable. The standard deviation indicates how far above or below the norm the subject's score is. The standard deviation was high, especially when the systolic time interval was elevated. Naming latencies departing 3 standard deviations from the participant's mean were also removed. Deviation observed when the ship inclines to either side is due to magnetic influences. There have been slight deviations in the satellite's orbit. Any deviation from the party's faith is seen as betrayal. Deviation from communist orthodoxy was not tolerated. Party ideologists accused her of deviationism. The virulent flu strain caused many people to become very ill. During 1918, there was a worldwide pandemic of a virulent strain of influenza. In the late 19th century, many communities were devastated by virulent scarlet fever, which spread rapidly among children. The greatest mortality was caused by virulent malaria fever, which raged during the autumn months. Now he faces virulent attacks from the Italian media. His supporters also launched a virulent attack on the mayor. The press was virulent and scandalous in its comments. They filled newspapers with articles denouncing it and wrote virulent pamphlets against it. These liquids mixed together form a virulent poison. He was a particularly virulent opponent of the terms of the treaty. The country seemed to be returning to the virulent nationalism of its past. The outbreak of a virulent bacterial infection prompted health officials to issue a public warning.